Welcome to Super Loved. I am here, your host, Macy Matarazzo, the creator of the Super Love System, and I'm so glad you're here in this group or on the Love Vibe TV YouTube channel. And if you like this, share it with your friends, subscribe. That's so helpful and a great way to spread love on the planet, which we need so much right now. And today we jump into our day 3 of our love attracting catalyst. And I really love doing this series because it gives you an efficient way to focus in on what really matters and what works. So day 1, we talked about all the laws of creation, the quantum laws. I mean, this is truly the universe we live in, and I recommend going back to that and using that more like a daily practice even, and playing with aligning yourself with these laws is going to change your world. And then yesterday we did a lot more kind of deeper healing work around the things that have been keeping us from moving forward. So a process to get beyond the I can't, this is why, and like sort of the muck of it all, that when you feel stuck, that part's really hard. Hey, if you're joining, say hello. If you're watching the replay, also post in the comments below. I love seeing who joins. And so yesterday we got out of the muck. We moved some energy so that you could come into a place where you remember. So remember is a key word here, where you remember that truth, that you aren't those things. You aren't the heaviness. You aren't the limitation. You aren't that. And that takes some grit. I will say that can take some grit and some commitment to notice that. Notice when you're buying into these lies of I can't, and the stories that say I'm not good enough, or I'm too much, or there's no one out there, or whatever it is that is kind of pulling you away from that core desire. Because the core desire is that place that says, yeah, I'd really like to have a person in my life. And when you get to the core desire, you know it's the core desire because it just has like a, it's a lightness, and it's it's not something that your head is making up. It's just something that is, and it exists with you as it is your part of what is coming through from the connection to divine and universe. So you always want to know that when you have those, that's your truth. And all of the other things that kind of jerk us around are the lies, the distractions, the, you know, funk in the world, the judgments, that you are the only person that can say no to that. And that's really probably the hugest catalyst here, is if you can ignite that knowing that you get to choose there, that you get to be that empowered being that says, oh yeah, I did the Love Attracting Catalyst series and I was told that that stuff is not mine. It's not true. It's not mine. It's not real. It's not something I need to buy into and then react to or resist, or it's just no. And So those are the moments for me when I realize these things, when I see where I've been distracted by limitations and lies, where I'm making post-it notes and putting them around and and giving myself practices and tools to ensure that I remember more. It becomes a, oh yeah, I remember, and then you start remembering more and more and more, and then that stuff just doesn't come up as much. I mean, I haven't reached a point where it doesn't come up at all, so I'm not going to say that it goes away permanently forever, but it is a consciousness and caring that we can be with ourselves that begins to change this, and it starts breaking those mental habits. So mental habits are interesting. I was actually working with one of my one-on-one clients yesterday, and we were talking about dating. She's in the dating process and super loved. We have a healing process and then the dating process, and then I'm in a relationship process. So, or I would say phases. And she's in the dating phase, and rejection, fear of rejection was coming up a lot, where she was like, I don't know, I can be so like comfortable and friendly when I'm teaching my classes, and yet when I'm going on a date, I lose that. And and she said it was because she goes into this fear of rejection and what are they thinking, and you know, what do they want? Maybe I'm not that. Like there's this whole chatter that comes up. And so, rejection is interesting because it is only something that you can do with you. And if you notice that when we like fall for, when we get seduced and sucked away by those stories and by the like, oh, this is the way it is, it's bad, and there are no good ones out there, and we buy into the kind of drama and pain, then that's where we are. And we're rejecting ourselves because we we have succumbed to that, and we haven't like stopped and said, wait a second, no, I am not giving up. Oh, look at what mug I'm using today. Do not give up. I didn't even know I was going to say that. We're not giving up on our desire for love. And I also like to remind everyone that, you have that desire for love. It's not just your desire for love, there's another person who has that. This is like a relationship. So you have it because that person exists. They have it because you exist. You are each other's miracles, and it is meant for you. So it's a matter of being this kind of catalyst to being that source of your connection to you, commitment to you, which is not rejecting you. And if someone else out there says, hey, you're not for me, or disappears, or ghosts, or is just kind of a jerk, then that's meant to be. And I know it can feel really disappointing and painful. I know that that's just kind of part of it too, but the truth of the matter is that no one is rejecting you. They are doing what they do. They are choosing what they want to choose. They have their own preferences. They have their own like goals in relationship, and sometimes it's not even having one. And so really, getting real with this is my goal with the series. Is just have this honest, direct conversation. so that it's no longer just functioning from this place of what people do. So here's another one that we can kind of blow up. I'll bring out my exploder in a second, but we can blow up this. Okay, where in your world, if you are you just responding automatically because this is the way you do dating, or this is the way you do someone didn't write me back, or this is the way you do, oh my God, he said he's not interested? Where do you just go to an automatic rejection mode where it's all drama and trauma? Let's destroy and uncreate that by saying yes out loud and just let that energy come up. And if that wasn't clear, just where do we have, let's do another one. Where do we have these habits of this, or we just kind of model what TV has shown us, what the universe has shown us, what we've decided is the right way to respond to someone not liking us back? And anything that keeps that in place, will you destroy and uncreate that by saying yes out loud? Woo-hoo. Yeah, because I noticed this with myself that certainly in dating before I did what I call the super love system, that there were a lot of things that I just thought, oh yeah, you're supposed to go into this kind of, drama about someone doing, disappearing, or someone who, whatever the thing is, right, that doesn't match your picture. And this is an opportunity to just stop doing that. Just be the one who is honoring your creation for love, your desire for love, and make choices that support that. And anything else, any other ways that maybe people disappear or aren't interested or don't write you back or whatever those things are irrelevant. It's just part of the magic that you being on your path to love. And I know it can be hard to be patient sometimes, and when you really want something and it's not showing up in the window or the timing that you want, that can be frustrating. But those are the times when it's really helpful to come back to you and choose you again. Choose you again and make the choice to be happy, make the choice for things that make you happy, and know that you are on your way when you're making these choices for love in your life. So that was a long introduction. Now we're in the blast off. Let's blast off. I'm calling it blast off because I want to invite you to take some actions here. So being the actual source for creating your love life means taking actions towards it. We talked about this in the first session, where one of the laws is, about taking action. It's about taking action towards that which you want. And the law of expanding influence is about, knowing that when you're taking actions towards that which you're asking for, then a lot of other magic and miracles can come in. And even if you are, the example I gave is, even if you're going online to meet people, that actually is the catalyst that opens up doors in all aspects of your world. And I see this a lot where people are doing the process, they're in the dating phase, and then someone calls up from their past that they've really, that is really exciting for them, or they meet someone at work, or they meet someone at a meeting that they're going to, and there's just like random things happen, or they're on a flight and they meet someone. I've seen that happen a lot. That's because you're kind of in the space, you're open to asking, and more can come in. So being aware of that, and I invite you now to open up your journal and start writing down some things. I'm going to give you some writing prompts. So one of them is, okay, who would I need to be to not fall for the I can'ts anymore and make the choice for love? Like, what confidence would I need to have? How would that look in my body? And you may want to take a moment to just imagine that. Like, who would you need to be to have more ease with dating and love? If you didn't have any limitations or barriers or beliefs that felt heavy, what could you let go of? What could you continue? So just notice what's coming up and start, whenever you want, writing down some of these things. As they pop up, writing down these things, who do you need to be? Noticing things that come up in your imagination when you see yourself. How are you dressed? How are you moving? How do you use your voice? Where do you hang out? What steps are you taking? So that's the next part of this, is to write down some steps. Like, what actions can you take? If you did the exercise yesterday and found that you have a lot of blocks and barriers and old wounds that are holding you back, that may be time to get support. We could do a one-on-one session using regenerating images and memory or other consciousness tools. There are practices and ways to transform yourself from the inside out, and that's really powerful. So, have you been wanting to put yourself online or research some singles events or start exercising more? Or what are those things that you are aware of that you could take action on now that is part of this greater life that you want to live? So you may even, if you're wanting to walk away from this, I really encourage you to come back and take a moment to write a few things down and make a choice for yourself. Then it's making a choice to take these steps. Because the one thing for sure is, if your strategy is what it's always been and it's not getting you what you want, that's not going to do anything for you, obviously. If your strategy is just hope, wish, and wait, that also isn't going to do anything, because it does take engaging with your life. And if you're not sure, then message me and let's do that part together. So let's look at what it is you want to create. Let's look at what's been challenging, and we can do that together. We'll do a little how to get happy in love sessions. So message me if you want to do that, and I'll put a link below for those of you who would like to have some facilitation on that. It's a complimentary session for those of you who are really ready to take that next step. If you already know that you're not going to take a step, then that's probably not the right time for you. But if you're sensing that, yes, this is what I want to create in my life, I would like to move forward, and I'd love to have a person in my life, then that is for you. So I'll put that information below. So keep going back to these. I hope this was helpful. I always like knowing what you want to learn more about. So please do share that with me too. And we'll see you really soon. Bye, everyone.